Recording the devil game, and it's good. And so, yeah, the field goal kicker missed a couple. Yeah, I'm feeling sorry for the kid, but it's just a damn football game. It's not really that important. Um, let's go for a walk. I'll show you what we did on the lights if you can see it. This camera's not the best, but well, because I don't have like a what are those things called? An iPhone or anything like that. This is just a little regular Samsung Galaxy 10. It's an old thing. You know, I bought it back in 2019, right before COVID. So, well, because I got tired of all the phone shit, I said I wasn't going to buy another one, and then I said, fuck it. Well, you know, I want to be able to have a device to talk to people, and, you know, we'll live the Gospels and talk about the Gospels. And it's wrong for people that don't live the Gospels to be talking about the Gospels. And so when the Gospels are being lived, you know, we should make them available. So thanks, Google. Thanks, YouTube, right? Facebook. Facebook just chose the wrong thing. It happens. Lots of people do shit like that. See, there's the old lights where you come in. I don't know if you guys can see. They come in, here's the front door where the rec hall sign is. Then they go around that way on the tree over towards back where you do barbecuing if you want to. And here's where we put the new lights on. If you guys can see it. I don't know. But you can see, you can't really see the garage door because the camera doesn't show it. But here it is up along the garage door, and it goes along the garage door back here and up along this tree back here where the little two tree seat relaxation table's at. And so it actually lights up pretty good. It's just this camera doesn't work that way. And then tomorrow I'll climb up on the ladder and check that sensor and see if I can bypass it and fix that big light up on there. And then if I actually come out here and film, you could actually see me, because that light lightens up the place enough. So it worked. We got it up there. I put it in a board and took roofing screws and put a board up in there on the part of the storm drain thing that the water goes underneath it, and put the little charger for the solar panels, for the solar panel, for the lights on that, and then put the lights underneath the storm drains, and then up around the thing so they won't get damaged by the sun. Like these guys, they last longer. I did that with the other ones too, so that'll help. So it won't ruin the lights. They're not meant to be in direct sunlight. It melts on their plastic. And so I had to take them all, make sure they're not in direct sunlight, that they're in the shade of the building. See how the devils are doing. I'm tired. And then I got this thing to record. It should be, there's like 9 minutes left, hopefully. I think there will be enough time to go and watch the most of the Borderline Blitz and see how all the high school kiddos did. Oh yeah, I watch it every year. Because I grew up in Las Cruces, so I know the Jefferson Silver Foxes, the Burgess Mustangs, the El Paso Tigers, the Hanks Knights, Coronado. Is Coronado the Dons? I thought they were the Dons. I'm not sure. There's the Coronado Thunderbirds. Who's the Dons? Okay, isn't somebody the Dons? Okay, just kidding. Is Coronado the Thunderbirds? Coronado. Montwood. I only knew of Montwood. It was a newer school, but my friend Charles from El Paso at Southwest Airlines went to Montwood. And he was funny, man. I remember that time when he said he wanted to get transferred to El Paso. He missed El Paso. And I said, yeah, I understand. And he was in Phoenix because that's where they had the call center. He said, I'm going to try to get transferred to the airport, but they have a job there in advertising for to get people to travel to El Paso. So, wow, what do you think I could do with that? I said, you could say El Paso. It's only 45 miles away from Las Cruces. He's all, shut up, Ralph. Earl. Yeah, they called me Earl. They're, Earl, you ain't funny. I was like, well, it's true. I joke with him. I was like, no, there's lots of good things about El Paso to make people want to travel to El Paso. We got, mariachi festivals and the really good Mexican food, whatchamacallit, El Paso's a lot like New Mexico. And it has a lot of that culture, and which there's some of it in San Antonio, but it's even more Mexican in El Paso. And so El Paso has that Mexican culture that you don't get in most of Tejas. Well, it's a little different. Because in El Paso's like New Mexico. It has that little bit more of that resistance and that more of that, El Paso has, Viva la Raza, Viva Villa and, and Zapata and stuff. El Paso has that, El Paso has that connection to Juarez, and to Villa and stuff. And so they're a little different, okay? They're the northern people that are and so they're different than the central core of Mexico. It's a different place. Oh, yeah, everybody knows it. And El Paso still holds on to a lot of that, and so does Juarez. But Juarez, they tried to destroy Juarez because of the war between the stuff. And it's a town that got bigger, is too tough to die. It's a resistance town. It always has been. And El Paso is the stuck in between, all the corruption in the United States and the corruption in Mexico, and it gets punished with Juarez, and that's El Paso. Okay. And Cruces is an occupied territory that has occupied people by dominant, I'll say, immigrant song. I made a connection to Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico tonight, And I felt bad for her. My first reaction was, how does it feel to be a puppet? Don't tell me, because I have no idea. Okay? They think I'm a puppet, but they know I'm not. No, they think, we program him. Their big thing is, I'm predictable. It's like, yeah, okay. Guys, did you know that Joseph and Daniel and Moses in the Bible and Abraham are predictable? No. Yeah, okay. They're predictable. And the big thing with them was always this overdeveloped sense of honor and a moral high horse. And if you go, look at that St. Anthony movie promoted by the Vatican, where the horse comes, where the Medici, they put a dung beetle with a big pile of shit, and then here comes the rider, the pale rider, here he comes and steps on your pile of shit that you're so proud of because it's nothing compared to faith in the glory of God. Remember when he says that to the Medici? And then the Medici guy goes, he's right, and he tells his wife, you should go become a nun because it's the only way you'll get into heaven. It's funny. I remember watching that movie going, he's let him have it because he was dying and his wife was old, and he told his wife, you're worse than I am. It's worse than Tartuffe. We're worse than Tartuffe. And Tartuffe. And so, because, what's his name? Was St. Anthony was dying, he was sick, and he was tortured, and he was abused, and they always tried to kill all the people he tried to care for to make it seem like everything he was doing was for nothing and for no good. And his thinking was, it's the soul. I'm interested in the nature of the spirit and the soul and not the flesh. And so if I can get the soul to accept faith in God over your bullshit, then that's better than people, selling out to the bullshit and then living, long, disgusting, opulent lives that abuse other people's selfishness. Life's eternal grace is infinite. And it's hard for, St. Anthony and St. Francis and a lot of them A lot of times, a lot of these people, the way they explain it, I think Anthony and Francis, because of their actions and their deeds and the way they present the marketing of them, understood far better than St. Augustine or St. Ignatius or those other guys. They have less writings they left, and they have more people telling you stories about what they did, and they're more perfect. So the spirit of Francis and Anthony is more perfect than the people that write down the stories that give us the dialogue for the play instead of the reality of the Gospels. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't get that's stuck in my head now. People say the Dixie Cups are stuck in my head. It doesn't bother me. I like the Dixie Cups, so it's pretty cool. I got to go remember some of the other ones that and try to find them because I can't remember the names of the songs. Go baby, go baby, go. Tightrope. Just okay. Damn, I was hoping he'd be able to just take it all the way. The little running back for ASU. I'm watching the game, y'all. Watching the Devils. So, yes, I'm still upset about that offensive lineman laying down on Brett Wallerstadt and Pepe Pearson getting that 99-yard touchdown. Yes, I'm still upset. Yeah, okay. I'm just kidding around. I was upset about that for years. Pepe Pearson, they gave him the ball, and Wallerstadt was coming to get him, and the lineman just basically fell on him and covered him. It was a legal play. But it's like, that should have been there. And Pearson hopped it. Well, because it was Coach Snyder, and he was aggressive. And he, for good reason, but they just, the other guy, was Cooper their coach then, or was it the other dude? But John Cooper, the one that used to coach at ASU, and then got the job at Ohio State. And, that was a bummer. Yeah, because that was the year, if we had won that game, even though we had the hiccup in it, was it U of A that screwed us up that year? If we had no, I don't think U of A did. Were we undefeated that year or something like that? I can't remember. But if we had won that game, we would have won the national championship. That's the year Danny Werfel in Florida won it. And all we had to do was win that game. And all those people said, no, Lindsey Jackson didn't do anything wrong. And it was a good game. And the kids it was a very good team and a very good year. Because I was the battle kid they were talking about tonight on the other team and stuff. And then I was thinking of, so I was watching the games and reminded me of John DeLay's friend who was the fiance of was it Kenny Battle, the running back number 8 that Patrick had the jersey of. Patrick knew. Okay, I know. John DeLay knows him. She's friends with his fiance. He had his jersey. It was cute. Yeah, but with Battle, the little good running back on that team, they had a lot of good running backs. They had Battle. They had Martin. They had what's his face, number 21. He was a freshman that year. What was that kid's name again? The guy who was the running back when MSU beat ASU. I can't remember the kid's name. He was a good kid, and he was a really good running back. Yeah. I want to say his name was Richmond. I can't remember. His number was 21, right? Yeah, but good old ASU. And Keith Pohl. I liked Keith Pohl a lot. Yeah. Jake's favorite target. Yeah. Keith had good hands. He was the most athletic, but he was a good blocker, and he was just a good player. He was just a good teammate. Okay, guys, old Pat Tillman. Yeah, old Pat Tillman. Okay, guys, I love you, all right? Peace out, bro.